to tell the story of the Villa Grande Square restoration. First I'll tell a little bit about myself. I used to be a software developer in Los Angeles, and I moved to Villa Grande in 2000. But before I moved here, I spent 3 years after I retired doing restoration work, so I was very interested in restoration. And when I moved here, I saw this piece of land, and I wondered what the story was on it. And I called around. I found out that it was excess county property. Part of it was the responsibility of the county road department, so I contacted the road department and talked to them, and they said, well, we want to take care of the road part of it, but you can do whatever you want in the center. So they brought me the redwood logs, and we put them around the square to define the space so that we knew where we would do the restoration and where they would take care of the road. And I also didn't realize that we don't get our water from the Sonoma County Water Agency, but I did contact them, and I got a hold of a biologist named Sean White, and he was very interested in this idea of a restoration of the town square. So he came and met me and was extremely supportive. He brought a bunch of booklets that the water agency had just written about doing restoration work on the Russian River, and it had a list of all the plants, and it really told me what needed to happen. And I called around. I talked to a lot of other people, and I talked to the people in the town, and we had 2 potlucks where we talked about, should we take the ivy out and the other invasives, the Himalayan blackberries, and try to do a native plant restoration. And there was some support for that idea. So we started, and I arranged for the probation camp to come, bringing some young people that helped with the heavy labor. And it was funny, there was one boy, I remember, he was very smart and very strong and a hard worker, but he says, I don't eat plants. And he said, I eat meat. And I said, well, what do the animals eat that you eat? The meat. And he said, and then I just saw a light bulb go off, and he understood then. So I was able to talk to the students, the probation camp young people, about the importance of plants and how they get energy from the sun and really form the basis for life, for animals and humans. So it turned out to be an educational experience for them and for me with Sean and his booklet, and for the community because we passed the booklets out. And various people in the community, Linda Fisher and Leah Norwood, Michael Stickney, Linda Homan, Rich and Wanda Homer, and Ed Freeman and other people brought plants from their yard, and that's what we used initially. And then a few people gave me money or brought in plants that had been purchased. So it's basically been coming back on its own, and that's since 2002 when we actually did the beginning work. It's now 2011, and I come over here maybe twice a year and spend a few hours pulling a few weeds. It's really sealed over now, and it's mostly native. So we're having the tour today in May of 2011, and this is one of the spots on the tour, and a few people have stopped by to admire some of the plants. So that's the story. I hope you'll come by sometime and take a look, and I hope it's still mostly natives. Thanks.